Yes, good morning. Savva here from Football Heritage TV. Please let me know before I continue too much. Can you hear me? I've changed my mic today. I've changed a few of the settings. Hopefully you can hear me. I'm sure it will be all right. Some football news this morning. There's quite a bit of news that's come out in the last 24 hours. Nothing massively transfer-wise, but there is football news in general. If we look at it from a Tottenham perspective, the news did come out yesterday morning. And good morning to everyone, by the way. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hello, hello, hello. The news did come out yesterday that Ryan Sessegnon is injured again. Just he had apparently got a little bit of a niggle during the, what did he make? A 15-minute, 10-minute cameo, whatever he made against Burnley in the FA Cup. So that was already, God, what are we going back now? We're going back 14. No, we're not. How many days are we going back? We're going back 12 days ago for that. When that game was, that the Friday. So we're going back about 12 days. We're going back about 12 days. Oh, look, this one's here. He's here this morning. He wants to say hello. We're going back about 12 days. Ryan Sessegnon injured yet again. I mean, what are we doing here? At what stage do Tottenham Hotspur Football Club turn around and say, this guy has got to be moved on? It's getting just a little bit embarrassing. I wouldn't mind if he was a top player, but he's not. He's a very limited player. It's Tuesday today, isn't it? For a Tuesday morning chat. Sorry. Yeah, I'm well behind this morning. I've had a few bits to do. It's embarrassing. Ryan Sessegnon, let me know what you make of him. Does anyone, I know we all know he's injured a lot, but does anyone rate him as a footballer? I think that's the biggest thing, right? Does anyone rate him as a footballer? He did well in the Championship. He scored a lot of goals playing in that front three for Fulham on the left-hand side. But then he came up and the Fulham fans were really disappointed with what he did in his first year in the Premier League. And then off the back of that disappointing year, of course, Spurs' lacklustre recruitment team at the time decided that, I know, he's not done well in the Premier League for a promoted club. We'll buy him. So we bought him 5 years later, by the way. 5 years, it will be in June since we bought him, and still seen nothing from him. I think he got a goal in maybe year one in, I want to say in the Champions League against Bayern Munich. I want to say he scored against Bayern Munich. That might be a massive lie, but I'm pretty sure he did score against Bayern Munich. And since then, we've not seen anything. Since then, we've not seen anything from the guy at all. And when he has played, he's looked very underwhelming. He looks weak. He looks very weak. He looks timid. And unfortunately, I just don't think he's good enough for Tottenham Hotspur. But he's still here. He's still on the payroll. And he's survived a fifth year. So has Lo Celso. So has Ndombele. God, these players need to go, need to get out of the club. In other news, Sarina Wiegman has just signed a new contract as the England head coach for the national women's team. So she's done a fantastic job there. She has signed a new contract. In other news, the link to subscribe is in the chat. The link to subscribe is in the chat. And it is pinned. So please, if you haven't subscribed, please do. We're chasing down very, very fast the 13K. We're just over 160 away from it, which is absolutely madness considering 13 days ago we weren't on 12K. So that's absolutely amazing. As always, smash the like button. 40 likes. There's 130 of you in here. It's growing by the second. I can see the numbers going up. So smash that button. In other news, there were lots of reports the last 24 hours that Chelsea have submitted a bid for Victor Gyökeres or Gyökeres, not sure the exact pronunciation. Obviously, the ex-Coventry striker who moved to Sporting Lisbon in the summer and has been on fire. Romano, we'll check him out in a minute, has said that no bid has been made because he has got a 100 million euro release clause. I do think he'd do brilliantly at Chelsea, a very talented footballer that scores goals and assists as well. And the biggest breaking news of the day, let's have a look at it. There, it's right there. Breaking news: Jose Mourinho and AS Roma part way with immediate effect. It's over. It's been a very strange time. Jose has gone to Roma, won them their first ever European trophy. in year 2, he very nearly got Champions League and got them to a Europa League final, and it all looked very rosy in the garden. It all looked very, very rosy in the garden. And this year, they've not kicked on. They've really, really struggled this year. I'm just having a look at the Italian table. Where are we? The Italian table. They're sitting down in 9th. They're only 5 points off the top 4. You could say 4 points off Europe, but they would where they've been. You would expect them to be a lot higher than that. So on top of that, there is more news regarding Roma this morning. So let's have a look at that. Fabrizio Romano, there you go. You can see that he's saying that that's over. No, not Palestri. Looks like he's going out on loan to either PSV or LA Galaxy, should I say, maybe Granada as well. But you could see here that it says AS Roma are closing in on the final details for Daniele De Rossi to be appointed as new head coach. Contract expected to be valid until June with an option to extend in case all parties want to continue together. Staff members already being discussed. Of course, Daniele De Rossi played for a number of years for Roma. You can see here that Napoli have agreed terms with Hellas Verona for Belgian forward Cyril Ngong. I don't know too much about him. Let's have a quick look, shall we? Let's see what Ngong has done in his career. No, that's not it. Ngong, Cyril Ngong of Verona. Yeah, I mean, they put him down as a forward. My app is telling me he's a midfielder. He's got 6 in 19 this season with 2 assists as well. So he's got 8 goal contributions in 19 games. The year before he had 6 in 15. He had 11 in 27 the year before. And the year before that, he had 10 in 20. I don't know a lot about him. I don't know if anyone else does. And there's confirmation that Chelsea have not submitted a bid for Victor Gyökeres, despite recent reports. He's been in fantastic form this season. Let's have a look at his form. Gyökeres. Let's see, there can't be many spellings like this. Victor Gyökeres. G-Y-O, Gyökeres. So Gyökeres this season in the league has got 18 goal contributions in 16 games, which is very, very impressive. In the cup, he's got 6 goals in 3 games in the 2 cups in Portugal, 6 in 3. In international, in the Europa League, he's got 3 goals in 5 games as well. And for the national team, he's got 4 goals in 8 games. So this is a man very much in form this season. So it's all happening in the transfer window at the moment. Some of the big clubs are yet to put in bids. We haven't seen anything from Liverpool. We haven't seen anything from United, City, Villa, Chelsea. Are they going to do anything? Arsenal were expected to go big. Our mate Angus assured us that they were in talks with Ivan Toney and Zubimendi and Pedro Neto. So look out for that treble signing from Arsenal very, very soon, according to our Arsenal friends. Let's have a look, see who's in the chat. Big up, good morning to every single one of you. John Clark said, morning, Savva. Thoughts this morning on Mourinho sacking, links with Phillips and Gomez. Nothing lasts long in football is the first thing I'd say. Nothing lasts long. Mourinho's done a great job there for 2 years. This year, it's just not gone as well. Some of the fans don't like his style, as you know. He's been getting a lot of trouble lately, constantly being sent off, sent to the stands, missing games. But, I mean, all of that said, they are only 5 points off the Champions League. So it's a tough one, isn't it? So they're acting now. Looks like they're hoping for the new manager bounce for the last 18 or so games of the season. So it is what it is. Get the fraud Arteta out my club. Said, morning, Savva. What players would you like to see coming next? I've been pretty consistent. I'd like to see if it's a midfielder, because I think that's what we're going to go for. I would like to see a Matt O'Reilly come in. I wouldn't mind a Conor Gallagher. I don't think it's going to happen. I'd love a Cristante, someone like that. I think he'd suit. But I do think we're going to go cheap. I think we've already gone cheap in the window, haven't we? I think we're going to go cheap again. For as much as people say that Levy's changed. He hasn't really. He spent 24 million, is it? 25 million in a window. It's not like we're going and spending loads and loads of money. Mario 2012, channel member, good morning to you. Good morning to you. Good morning to Adam. Good morning to Dan E at the Hotspur Hood. Please get over and subscribe to Dan E at the Hotspur Hood. Hope you're well, my friend. Uncle Disraeli, good morning to you. Good morning to Tony Rodriguez. Ash7, absolutely. Yogi Bear said post-surgery. Richie is in great form. Definitely deserves to be on the thumbnail. All the players are on a thumbnail somewhere. I've got 21 different thumbnails for all of the days of the week. I've got 21 different thumbnails, different players on each thumbnail. So they're already pre-done. They're not done every day. They're pre-done. So yes, this is not because he's in form. This is just because his name came up on rotation for Tuesday morning. Here is the link to subscribe. Let's get a couple of subscribers, people. Really, really, really do appreciate it. And let's make that happen. There's some breaking news on Sky Sports. No, it's not. It's an article about Everton and Nottingham Forest. They're putting up a post here on Sky actually about Jose Mourinho. I'll pause this for a second. Jose Mourinho comparison of 2002 to 2015 and 2016 to present, and it shows that in 02 to 15 he got 8 league titles, 7 domestic cups, 2 Champions Leagues, 1 Europa League. That's 18 total trophies. And in since 2016, he's got no league titles, 1 domestic cup, 1 Europa League and 1 Conference League. So he's got 3 trophies. So for most managers, 3 trophies in 8 years would be quite good. But for Jose Mourinho, what he was before, look, he's been a fantastic manager. He's going to go down as one of the greats. 21 club trophies as a manager is not to be sniffed at. But where next? Lots of reports saying that he will go to Newcastle. Any Newcastle fans in the chat, how are you feeling about that? He is now the odds-on favourite to be the next manager of Newcastle United. That's just popped up. The odds-on favourite to be the next manager of Newcastle United. Morning. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. Good morning, Ash. Good morning, John Clark. Morning to Man U. Morning. D&B Forever. I said morning, Savva in the chat. Good morning. Blaine Dev's in here. Big up to you, bro. Hope you're well. Another channel member. Good morning to you. Tigaro, good morning to you. Guys, so we've got a lot of channel members inside the house. So I'm just trying to get down my morning shake. Good morning to Paul as well. Yeah, Sess has to go. He isn't good enough anyway. I think that is kind of the belief amongst most of the Spurs fan base, right, that he needs to go. Timmy L said rip up Sess's contract in the summer. Retires early or does Champions League, Championship, League One, MLS. Sad, but chronic injuries are real. To be honest, I think Championship would be his level. I'll be honest, I don't even think at this stage in his career he would stand out in the Championship. I truly don't think he would stand out. I think he's a very, very average. I think he's a poor player, if I'm going to be brutally honest. And no longer can we keep saying he's young. Their careers don't go on forever. Dave King has said Sess is made of glass. Rodney Roberts, big up to you, Rodney. Hope you're well, my friend. Said, yeah, can hear you very crisp. Hopefully you can't hear the dog snoring on my arms. Siraj has said, I'm still surprised Sess is at the club. I'm guessing there's a mixture of injuries and homegrown quota are keeping this guy at the football club. By the way, if anyone is free at 3 p.m., my mum would murder me if I didn't say that properly, 3 p.m. Stella and I will be starting a show called Tottenham Fever, 3 o'clock on Tuesday. So Stella and I, just for 1 hour, talking all things Spurs, the direction the club's going in, what the manager's doing, what the club need to do, transfers, all that kind of stuff. So join Stell and I at 3 p.m. today. Cess will go, big up, Bill. How you doing, bro? Cess will come good. Believe in Ange. Yeah. Philly 2019. Big up and good morning, my brother from another mother, Savva, and everyone in the magnificent chat. Big up to you, Philly. Tell a few of these people to subscribe, mate. We need to get to the 13K ASAP. Yes, we do. Yes, I thought it was. Yeah, it was the group game at Bayern. Yeah, thank you. I thought it was something like that. Yes, Sean. Yeah, Roma have sacked Jose Mourinho. You know he'll get another job. He's got too much pedigree in the game to not. He will. He will. None of this, please. Justin, first warning, I will sack you. We're not. I will sack you off of here. We're not going to do that. If you don't like women's football, you don't have to mention it. You just, but to laugh at it is unfortunately showing people what you are, which is really sad, unfortunately. Rodney said Sessegnon got a paper cut dipping into the cup in that common commotion with VDV. Yeah, he gets injured, doesn't he, waking up in the morning? It's pretty sad, but Philly has said Sess is just not good enough. I think you could have cut the scent off there. Just not good enough for where Spurs want to go. He's a shell of a player who can't open up his body or he'll break down. Spurs need to terminate his contract now. Why wait till the summer? Yeah, I agree with you. It's I just don't think he's good enough. I didn't think he was good enough then. I didn't know what the hype was about. Unfortunately, football fans do this a lot. Players have half a decent season somewhere or a decent season in the Championship and everyone thinks that player's brilliant. We've done it with Brennan Johnson. Everyone going, give him a chance, he'll come good. They can't tell me what they've seen in him that makes him going to come good. They just believe. So I would get rid of. I absolutely would. Timmy L said, Moo out or Mourinho out. I'm also a Roma fan. Can Ange do a joint managed job with Roma too? DVV said, I will hear the give Johnson time talk, but Sess has been here since 2019. We need to move him on. Yeah, I'm bored of giving players time. You spent 50 million on him. I mean, when we're saying give him time, I want to see something. I keep hearing he's got blistering pace. We never really see it. I keep hearing that he can score goals. I mean, I've seen him score a tap in. You know, it's like not for me. Yeah, it was very frustrating, this debate. Very frustrating. For anyone that always says I'm negative, watch that debate where I'm sticking up for Spurs and the process we're in. And Lee just saying that every team has failed if they don't win the league. It's just madness for me. There's no context to that at all. Everyone can't win the league and progression is important. To say there's no progression is just madness. Jose to cause Chelsea United chaos. Jose time to retire. It's a bit harsh, isn't it? Ashton Mills said, Savva, I'll set it out and agree with Lee on broader points, but it was laughable how he was responding to your logical points with stubborn rhetoric. Look, I listen, the thing is, I listen, I love Lee. I get on really well with Lee. But the problem is to say that everyone has just point blank failed if they don't win the league. Not everyone can win the league. You know, one team can win the league. Sometimes there are teams better than others. And I think the point he was trying to make was that I was saying if we give Postecoglou 1 year, we should automatically win the league above City or Liverpool. I just don't think it's that simple. These managers have had years to cultivate an ethos, a philosophy, a group structure, a playing style. And we're going to go, right, you've got 1 year, go and beat all these managers. You know, you've got to catch up with the squad. You've got to catch up with the harmony. You know, I just think it's madness how football fans have become so short-sighted that everyone thinks you just spend a bit of money, you win everything in 1 year. It's just mad, but it is what it is. Kate said, good morning. Good morning to you as well, Kate. Hope you're well. Timmy L said, penalties from the Champions League group stage and another European trophy. Jose, third season syndrome. He's now at international job stage or Saudi. Penalties from the Conference League group stage. Well, listen, at the end of the day, this man's been an absolute world great, hasn't he? No, you can't knock him for that. He has been. The Chelsea fans calling for Jose. Can you imagine? Can you imagine Pochettino leaves Chelsea and Jose goes back there? I'd love to see. I think that'd be hilarious. I think that'd be really funny. What would he do then? What would he get the best out of them? I don't know. It was on Saeed's channel yesterday. I was sicking up the Spurs saying, I think we're doing really well. We're on the right path. We're seeing a process. And he was saying, has he failed this year if he doesn't win a trophy? I said, no. He was like, well, yeah, of course he has. You know, if you lose to Man City, your season's over. And I was like, no, because we're building. Our season, if we lose to Man City, yeah, we can't win a trophy, but our season's not over. We could get third or fourth or fifth from eighth last year. It's progress. I just think this rhetoric that everyone wins a trophy, everyone should win a trophy is crazy. It's like saying that every business is pointless if you're not as big as Amazon. It's madness. It's absolutely madness. LB 1998 said he'll go to Newcastle. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. Video complete. Sofiana said Jose Mourinho made a mistake by not accepting the Portugal job. Listen, it will come around again for him. Jose's going to have offers, whether it's in Europe, internationally, Qatar, he's going to have offers. You know he is. Saudi Arabia, wherever. Big up, proud to be a Geordie. I said, run up those likes, please do. 85 likes, 247 of you in here, so smash those like buttons. I'm trying to get to every comment, so please bear with me. Kate said, might be selling Luke Shaw in the paper this morning. Yeah, I think Man United need to slowly but surely sell most of their squad, if we're going to be brutally honest about this. And come on, we haven't had one subscriber today. Let's get a subscriber to at least make me feel a little bit better about doing the morning shows. Big up. Timmy said, De Rossi did horrifically last season at Serie B side Spal, but as a Roma legend, Roma having much better players than a Serie B club, maybe they're hoping an old guard gladiatori lifts them. Well, maybe. That I guess that's got to be the hope for this, right? It's got to be the hope. Kate has said Philly 209. Oh, no, sorry, they're talking to each other. Big up my man, Strasbourg. Steve, inside the house. Steve's just dropped off the scene for the last week. I'm sure I'll speak to him again this week. How you doing, brother? Hope you're well. How's the snow? I think last time we streamed together, I think you said you had like 7 or 8 inches of snow. I'm pretty sure that was recent, wasn't it? Video complete, Sofiana. So can you tell me why I got the sack? Yeah, they've not been in good form. For me, I do think it's a sad indictment of football now. He's had 2 very good years at Roma, and then the first season things start to go badly and you're out. And unfortunately, that's the world of football management now, isn't it? Strasbourg Steve said he would love to see Jose Mourinho come to Newcastle United. Any other Newcastle United fans, let me know. Let me know what you think. Jose, I mean, listen, one thing's for sure, he's never dull. It's never dull when Jose is around. Where are we? Don Carlos has said, got to give him a chance under Ange. Listen, if we apply this theory, if you've got to give every player a chance under Ange, whether you're talking about Sessegnon or Brennan Johnson, giving players a chance doesn't make them better. If anyone is truly watching Brennan Johnson and thinks that's the level we need to be a better football team, cool. But then don't wonder why we don't win trophies at the end of seasons. You know, you've got to have better. The top clubs don't sign players like Brennan Johnson. Sorry, I'm going to say it. People can hate me. Name me a top club that signs a Brennan Johnson type footballer. Even Chelsea, who are doing worse than us, are saying Cole Palmer. Much better footballer. Madness. Ash, as I said, Jose is an expensive manager to have if things don't go well. He's got Saudi all over him now. Tactics are outdated for Europe. Interesting. I could see him there. I could also see him at Newcastle. Let's see. It's going to be interesting. You know he'll be back in the game probably in the summer. Good morning to you, John Ellis Hall. Good morning to you. Good morning to, I don't know who you're talking to. Not me, I don't think, but good morning to you anyway, Itagaro. Magical Music said, I don't understand why Levy wouldn't take this window as an opportunity to back Ange. Perhaps the squad is stronger than we think when everyone's available. Possibly. I still think we're very lackluster up front. I still think the forward line is very, very lackluster. I don't think there's enough goals in that forward line. Son, yes. The rest, no. Trigger has said, good morning, Savva. Well done yesterday holding your own against Lee. He loves to rattle the cage. It's not holding my own. Listen, I've got a lot of time for Lee. We'll be on the show again together next week. I completely disagree that every manager has failed if they don't win a league. It's just mental. I love it. I love that it's people say they've got they've got ambition, and I love that, and I want to win leagues, but suddenly just saying Spurs should rock up in a year and be better than Man City and Liverpool over 38 games, I just think is crazy. Daniel has said Mourinho 03-15 was prime. 2017 to now, he's a dud. I tell you what, when you're calling him a dud, how many managers in Europe would have loved to have won 2 European trophies and a domestic cup in the last few years? Jose's done that. So when we're calling him a dud, what you mean is he's not Klopp and he's not Pep, right? Proud to be a Geordie says, I don't want Jose yet. When you say yet, what do you mean, proud to be a Geordie? Does that mean at some point you're up for it? Good morning, Kate. Just a girl who loves Spurs. Yes, you are just a girl who loves Spurs. And that is the name of your channel. Anyone who hasn't subscribed, get over to that channel and subscribe to Kate and Ellie. Good morning. I am well. How are you doing, Kate? I am very well. I also have an interview today at 2 o'clock. So after I finish this, I'm going to get my interview head on. They asked me before I had the interview, are you okay being in front of a camera? And I was just like, yeah, I'll do okay. I'll be all right. I didn't want to say, yeah, I've got a YouTube channel. But Trigger 501 I said he would be at Newcastle. That would be madness. Yeah, I mean, Eddie Howe, look, I don't think managers like that should get I don't think managers like that should get sacked. But hey, what can you do? What can you do about it? Oh, 1 second. Someone's messaging me about tomorrow. Oh, no, I can't do that. Can I request a new time? Can I request a new time? Hang on 1 second. Sorry, please bear with me. Can we make it 11:30, please? Sorry about this. This is work-wise. Can we make 11:30, please? Wednesday the 17th. That is tomorrow, isn't it? Yeah, Nick, there we go. Look, where will he go? I think we know he'll end up somewhere. But lots of people have been talking about that for a long time now. Paul Watkins has said, morning, Savva. God, it's fresh outside. The question, do we need a number 8, or do you agree with Henry about getting a 6 like Phillips or someone else? I think there's too much emphasis put on 6s, 8s. I think we just need top midfielders. There's so much emphasis. Everyone I speak to has a different understanding of, is Basuma a 6 or an 8? Is Bentancur a 6 or an 8? Right? So for me, I just think you need top midfielders in the way that we play. Listen, would I love I know I'd love a top defensive midfielder. I really, really would. But it's got to be someone that can play. It's got to be someone that can, I'm not saying a Rodri. There's no one else out there like that. But somebody that can get the ball and create and start from the back. Not just an out-and-out destroyer. I don't think that will work in this system. Big up to D&B Forever, who said, seen on one football app, Spurs linked to Norwich winner Jonathan Rowe. I don't know enough about him. I've seen lots of people talking about him, that he's good. For me, though, again, this would scream another young, up-and-coming. Can we not go and get a finished article? At some point, can't Spurs go and buy a 24, 25-year-old that's been there, seen it, done it, got years under their belt, played Premier League football, European football, and is terrifying to defenders? That, for me, listen, you can keep buying youngsters. We'll see how it goes. But I just feel that at some point, if you want to, it's that next level, isn't it? This is the thing. I've got nothing against buying 21-year-olds, 20-year-olds, 22-year-olds. At some point, though, when do you go from here to there? That's the thing. We've been here before with this ownership, haven't we? But we've done really well, constantly buy cheap young players, just hoping that we can get them to the levels of Gareth Bales and Harry Kanes and stuff. But at what point do you build the club up to say, right, we're good to win now? I don't know. There we go. 112 people to get just a girl who loves Spurs to 1,000. Do me a favour, Kate. Whack your link in the chat, and then we'll get everybody to go over and subscribe. Come on, people. Spurs creators. Support all the Spurs creators. I'm always asking for everyone to subscribe to all the creators. Doesn't matter if you like them or not. Show some love, eh? Show some love. I see Porro is now the record assister in the Premier League. Who was the leading one before that? I'm guessing Walker. Sorry, the record assister for what? What do you mean? Sorry, I don't think that doesn't make sense to me. I'm guessing Walker. What do you mean? Sorry, can you explain what you mean there, Sessis Gammy? I don't quite understand the premise. Yes, we do. We need to put Sess's cotton wool in cotton wool. Oh, he's got to go now. Bless me. Yes. I don't think he's I don't even think he's as good as Mark Albrighton. Daniel. I don't think he's as good as Mark Albrighton. So make of that what you will. I don't think he is. I genuinely don't think. I don't know why we bought him. I'll be brutally honest. All these people saying, "Oh, he could get better." But that's not what you should be buying. Not everyone you should buy should be, "Oh, could he get better?" Where's the technical ability? Where's the first touch? Where's the brilliant cross? Where's the ability to drive at a fullback and whip the ball in? I don't know. Just not for me. Video Completer said we should have spent 50 million on Bakayoko. Much better footballer. See, levels of footballers between the two. Daniel has said, with that logic, all 19 other managers should be sacked. Well, this is the problem. We can't just say every single season. Listen, let's be honest, right? Clubs set an objective at the beginning of a season, right? Man City, let's use them as an example, and then we'll use Spurs as an example for this year. Everybody will agree with me right now, right? That Man City's objective on going into the summer and going into this season was what? It was to win the Premier League. If they don't win the Premier League, Pep would have failed his objective for the year, but he hasn't failed overall because they've won 5 of the last 6, right? Arteta, the fans' objective was to win the Premier League, but they didn't. The squad isn't good enough to win a Premier League. So it's all well and good saying you've got to win the Premier League, but if you're not good enough to, how can you? Now, Spurs' objective at the beginning of the year, what would it have been? What would our objective of Daniel Levy to Postecoglou have been? I think it would have been to get back in Europe, and if you can get Champions League, brilliant. Right? So if Spurs don't win the league, we've not failed, have we? We've not failed. It wasn't the objective. Yes, goalposts move, but it can't be that everyone has to win the league or they fail. There's only 2 cups and a league every year. 2 cups and a league every year. I mean, it's madness. Finoz, yeah, I agree. I've not seen anything of this mystery pace that apparently is why we bought him. But it is what it is. I don't want to go in too hard on him. I just don't rate him. He'll grab a couple of goals and assists over the season. I would expect any Premier League player to grab some goals and assists in a season. But every time he grabs an assist, people go, there you go, he's brilliant. It's like, what is he? Use these. Watch the players we've had at White Hart Lane in the past. This guy isn't fit to lace boots. Blaine Dev said, big up Savva. 2 things I'd like your views on. Big up to you, Blaine Devon. Thank you for your generosity as always. Said Reggie apparently moving closer to a move to Brentford, and Hill reportedly only willing to leave on a permanent deal. I think both need to go in now. Listen, I agree. I would understand that Reggie going to Brentford, I think, would be a good deal. Just down the road in London, Rico Henry, I believe, is injured long term. So for me, I think that makes sense. And then if you oh, hang on, what's this? Sorry, Newcastle breaking news. Oh, sorry. No. Right. So sorry, I'll come back to that in a second. I think Reggie to Brentford makes sense. Brian Hill, I get it. He keeps going out on loan. He's probably really bored of it. I get it. He probably wants to leave on a permanent deal, and I think Spurs should let him go. I don't care if he has to go for 5 million or 6 million. Let the boy go. Get the money in, reinvest it somewhere. It's not his fault. Another one. I said this for years about this guy, as well as I'm saying it about Brennan Johnson. Not good enough, not strong enough. Just not no end product to these players. So there's my take on it. Hopefully that answered the question, Blaine Dev. Thank you so much for your generosity. But both of those players can go for me. Do you think Johnson will play better in a full-strength Tottenham team? No, I don't get this. Why? He sees so much of the football in this formation. It's not about the players around him. It's his own game, which I don't rate. It's not that he's putting chances on a sixpence and the team are weak and not putting them away. It's when he gets on the ball, he don't look like he can do anything. He doesn't look like he can beat a man. His crossing is awful. His crossing is absolutely awful. He looks timid, scared. So no, not for me. Not for me. By the way, big up to Dear Beaver Ever for putting in a super sticker. Thank you very much, bro. Really, really appreciate that. Really, really, really do. 342 of you and growing in it. Only 128 likes. Can we get a like party going, please? And the news that I just saw from Fabrizio Romano. Let's see if that comes up on the screen. there. Not that one. We've seen that one. Is this Newcastle fans again? Newcastle fans again. Thank you so much, DMB Forever, for that. I really do appreciate that. It's Newcastle expected to confirm their decision on Joelinton's groin injury soon. Surgery could mean season over for the Brazilian. The Newcastle staff doesn't want to take any risk. I mean, this is bad news for Newcastle. If they've lost Tonali because of the gambling, if they lose Joelinton as well, it leaves them very lightweight in midfield. The Newcastle fans will know more than me, but I believe that leaves them with Guimaraes, Longstaff, Miley, and possibly Willock. If we're calling Willock a centre mid, let me know what you think, fans, Newcastle fans. Let me know what you think. John Clark said, saw the debate. Well done. Jesus God. Ricky Campbell. Oh, yeah, we answered that one. Let's go. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to catch up. Strasbourg Steve said, Lee Gunner, one of my guys too. I would love to see him create a football club and see what happens. It would either be brilliant or catastrophically fail. Look, I don't disagree with him that there has to be expectations and there has to be dreams and hopes. But I just don't believe in this. This all started because I said Man United can get in whatever manager they want this summer, right? I said they could get in whatever manager they want this summer. They could spend 200, 250 million. They'll still be nowhere near Man City. And he said, if you dropped in a Simeone and gave him that money, they'd win the league. I don't think they would. Why all of a sudden would Man United dropping in 250 million? By the way, 250 million is roughly just a bit more than what Arsenal just spent in the summer. And they've got worse. So spending 250 million doesn't get you too much football player these days. And not enough for me to turn that Man United squad into champions. This is a Man United squad that currently are nowhere near the big clubs. They're nowhere near it. And for me, I'm sorry. I believe you've got to put some sort of plan in place. You've got to put some sort of plan in place as a club. And these fans, they don't want plans. They just want to win right now. That's great. But then in a few years, when that manager leaves, a new manager comes in with a different style and they go, right, win again. It's very unsustainable for me. Tagaro said, can you imagine the rhetoric? Word for the day. Lovely word. And the celebration if we win the FA Cup. Listen, it'll be our best year. This will be our best season for what? 33 years if we win the FA Cup. It'll be the best year since we won the FA Cup, right? So I'd love it. Real difficult game to get through. City are on fire. Real difficult game to get through. I know everyone's going, oh, we always beat City. We don't always beat City. That's a bit of a lie. I'm not saying you said this. And they are on fire. It scares the crap out of me playing Man City, especially with the number of chances we give away. Scary times. No, Dave, he won't. No, Dave, he won't. See, this is where we get silly for me. Bentancur's a very good player, but Rodri is the best midfielder for me in Europe. For me, this is the best midfielder in Europe. This man makes the best team in the world tick. What evidence? How on earth are we saying Bentancur will overtake Rodri? I've no idea how we get to these conclusions. This is what Spurs fans do. We see a player, they have some good games, and we go, he's going to be the best. Based on what? Listen, sorry, Rodri is phenomenal. Mina said, I've been meaning to ask you, I'm a Bayern fan. Should I be worried about Dyer? Personally, I think of him as a stopgap, but I would like to hear your opinion. I think he's a stopgap. I think he's absolutely a stopgap for you. I think it's just because he can play in multiple positions. I don't think he'll get a lot of game time for you, but you'll know more than me. You'll know more than me on how much game time you think player in his position needs. Shafay has said, Savva, I've been thinking about how Porro has been the one constant in our backline, though. All the injuries and suspensions, taking up creative duty as well. Defensively, definitely my fave player right now. Yeah, listen, I think Pedro Porro is a fantastic footballer. I don't think he's a fantastic defender, but what he does going forward, we can't knock. He's a very, very good footballer. Do I think he's brilliant at the back? No. I don't actually think he's a good fullback. He's just a brilliant footballer. There's a huge difference for me. Brian has said, I think we made a huge mistake on Johnson. Hopefully I'm wrong. The next season is make or break. Yeah, I just don't see anything in him. I'm sorry. I really, really don't. I really, really don't. Lewis, thank you very much, mate. I really appreciate that. I really appreciate that. And Potter, mate, thank you very much as well. Well, there's some nice people in today. Big up to you. Absolutely. Jonathan Rowe, Defo, sign him and loan him back. But again, how much money of our budget are we going to spend on buying players that don't actually do anything for our first team right now? We've been doing this for years. At some point, that's got to change if you want to keep up with the big boys. Kate, there you go. Look at this. Right, there's the link. There's the link. Please go and smash that link and get Kate. Let me know throughout the show. Let's get Kate to 1,000. Just so you know, and it probably doesn't mean anything to you guys. I can't believe I've just lost 3 subscribers just there. So thank you for all those 3 people that maybe they're unsubscribing to me and subscribing to you, Kate. People are really nasty, aren't they? You get up every day. You give them your time. You sort the shows out, sort the guests out. And then they unsubscribe. Big up to all of the people that have subscribed, though, in the chat. Big up to you. Gray takes pics and said, love from Texas. It's almost 5 a.m. here, so I'm going to fall asleep to the stream. Fair. But everyone, leave a like for all the work being put in. Big up. Thank you very much. I really do appreciate it. And yes, I would much rather see Manuel Solomon play for Tottenham than Brennan Johnson. I really, really would. Big Mike, see, here's the difference. People like you say things like this. It's not about bedding in. I just don't rate him as a footballer. Huge difference. It's not that we've seen him brilliant somewhere else and it hasn't started to work yet. I've never rated him. Ask anybody who watches me enough. I've never rated this guy. For me, this is what you buy if you want to finish mid-table. I've been told by everyone that we've got delusions of winning leagues and cups and stuff. If we want those delusions to become reality, not being rude with the word delusions, but if we want our delusions of grandeur to come true, I want better than that. So when you're saying time to bed in, I just don't rate him as a footballer. You do realise, everyone does realise Brennan Johnson's been a footballer for years and we have seen him play before. It's not that we've bought him and he's an unknown. Madness. Mia's in the chat. Big up, Mia. How you doing? Hope you are well. A long time no speak, but I hope you are well. And I'm just trying to catch up on some of the comments here. Newcastle light in the midfield. Let's sell them Højbjerg. I mean, first of all, Eddie Howe's going to have to want Højbjerg, right? I feel like we could offer them Højbjerg. Would he go there? I don't know. We'll see. Proud to be a Geordie. There you go. Kind of answer it. Keep your shitty Højbjerg. I'd rather put oh my God, I'm not going to read that out, but I think he would rather other things than Højbjerg. Yes. Interesting. Sorry, I'm trying to get to as many comments as possible, so please bear with me if I am a little bit behind. I think I'm about 6 minutes behind. Right. There we go. I need that for next time. So Simeone's not won anything for 2 years. Sack him. Get the fraud Arteta out of my club. So there's only 2 big clubs in the Premier League for the last 20 years, and that's Chelsea and Man City. Listen, Liverpool got to be put in that bracket as well. Surely they've won a Premier League. They've won multiple FA Cups, League Cups, Super Cups. Surely Liverpool have got to be put in that bracket, haven't they? Big up, Strasbourg Steve. How you doing, bro? Very kind of you. I said, Joel Linton out for the rest of the season. We're finished. I just want to go all out for the Cup, the FA Cup. I think we'll finish like 8th. So who cares at that point? So Newcastle fans, do you all feel like Steve? By the way, come on, guys and girls, I'm putting the link in the chat. Can we please get a couple of subscribers? We've got over 340 people in here. We haven't had one. We've started on the same number of subscribers. We've ended so far on the same number of subscribers that we started on. Sorry if you can hear Stewie snoring. He is right by the microphone. Dr. Tottenham has said, I think we will get knocked out. By the way, let me go back to this. I'll go back to Dr. Tottenham. Yeah, look, I think you've definitely got to go all out for the FA Cup. I do feel, though, that when fans say things like go all out, what you mean is, right, just play your best team. because loads of people are going to be going all out for the FA Cup, right? But yeah, you've got to play your best team. And if I'm not wrong, you've got Fulham away in the Cup. I think that's sticking in my head. Fulham away, maybe. So that should be very, very interesting to see how Newcastle United do in the FA Cup. Where are we? DJ and One said Liverpool raised the standard, Pep matched it and bettered it. Yeah, listen, it's what top clubs do. But let's be honest, they're not buying people like Brennan Johnson. No offense, they're not buying Brennan Johnsons. They're buying proper footballers that come in and make a difference. And then we're all going, oh, give him time. No, £50 million could have bought you Doku, could have bought you Cole Palmer. It could have bought you Diaby. It could have bought you Anthony Gordon. It could have bought you Kudus. It's a lot of money. Oh, hang on. Sorry. I think someone at my front door. 1 second. Hi, mate. Any chance you could just leave it by the door, please? Hello? Any chance you could just leave it by the front door, please? I'm just on a work call. Is that all right? Yeah, thank you. Cheers. Yeah, that's all good, mate. All right. Thanks, buddy. Take care. Bye-bye. Sorry about that. Live. Of course, my missus has ordered something, and of course it's going to come when I'm streaming. So sorry if you heard the dogs going doolally there, just protecting me from the nasty Amazon driver. Big up to absolutely everyone. Sorry about that. And that's what happens when you work from home. Brett, by the way, Bentancur is a quality footballer, but for me, nowhere near the level of Rod. Nowhere near it. This is where we need to stop doing the hyping our players up to the point where if we're going to start saying that Bentancur could be better than Rodri, and this player's better than this player and this player's great, then you do have to win titles. And then I'll have to agree with Lee. Brett said, morning, Savva. Do you think we should put Dragusin right back with Porro in front? I think there's merit to it, but I don't think he will. I think that Pedro Porro's been learning that position. I can't see him being moved from there. I wouldn't be against it. I just don't see it happening. Phil Coys said, big up, Savva. I hope you're well. I'm willing to be patient if the end goal is to win major honours. It will all be worth the wait. Playing attractive football along the way is even better. Phil Coys, what happened? You said we were going to smash Man United again with your over-the-top predictions when you came into my show last week and said, have faith, Savva, believe we will beat Man United. What happened, Phil? This is another one of those over-the-top predictions, as always. Big up to you, bro. Hope you're well. Mike has said, check out United's wage bill. They should be top 4 every season. Yeah, but unfortunately, wage bill doesn't always mean the best players, the best surroundings, the best manager, the best. It's not that simple. I think people convert finances into ability, and I feel like I just don't feel that's how football quite works anymore. Shem said, hey, Savva, hope you and Stewie are well. What next for Jose? Newcastle back to Chelsea or Saudi? Look, I think that there's a possibility of all those things. I'm sure there's going to be other clubs. We're just saying Newcastle. I'm sure there is going to be other clubs that are interested in Jose Mourinho. Whatever you think of him, even in the last 3 years, he's made 2 European finals. How many managers can say that? It's funny, isn't it? Managers that haven't achieved anything in Europe get built up to be amazing, right? And then a manager that's even won one European trophy and 2 European finals in the last 2 years is being called a dud and finished. It does make you laugh. You've got to. Context is key to everything. Where are we? Yeah, honestly, Kate, just a girl who loves Spurs. Honestly, some of the Spurs YouTube watchers, it's really tough to get them to like, to subscribe for free content, Kate, for free content. David said, do you expect we'll buy another player in January? I would hope so, because we've only spent 25 million. It's not like we've gone out and really set the cat amongst the pigeons. We've moved early, positive, really good. Definitely happy with Dragusin. We'll see with Werner. Everyone knows my opinion on him. I'm not massively sold. I think Timo Werner will grab some goals against the poorer teams. I fully expect he'll score goals against the likes of Brentford and Burnley and Luton. I wouldn't have signed him, but I'll get behind it. Dragoshin, good signing. I think he's going to be a real good player for the rest of the season and for the future. In terms of, will we sign someone else? Why not? Why not? They're working hard behind the scenes. I think there's room. I think Højbjerg will go. And I think we will bring another midfielder. I could be massively wrong. Solomon plays on the left, Johnson on the right. Solomon can play either wing. I'd take him. I'd take you. I don't even know who you are. And I'd take you over Brennan Johnson on the right wing. It's like playing with 10 men for most of the game. And then he'll grab an assist and people go, there you go. But you've got to be in the game. The amount he has the football, it's just wasted. Mason. Guy said, I think Johnson has had his confidence knocked when he got injured. That's why he doesn't go on like he used to at Forest. He didn't used to do it at Forest. He didn't. Please, people, go and watch him at Forest. Forest played a counter-attacking game, which meant that he was bursting forwards on the counter-attack with his pace. It's very different to when you're now asked to play in a team that has the football and teams sit behind you and say, break us down. That's when you see the skill of a footballer. Take their pace away. What has a player got? And for me, I don't think he's got a lot. Yes, yeah, I've seen that, Luton Dan. Yeah, I've had that as well. When I went onto Sean's channel the other day and it said, would you like to subscribe? And I'm like, what do you mean? I've been subscribed to Sean for years. But I had to resub. So yeah, I did see that. See, again, Mike, you're doing it again. If anyone had watched Sonny play in Germany, you could see how good a player he was. Even when he played for Spurs and he wasn't smashing in goals and assists, you could see there was a footballer in there. Yeah, he was working his backside off. We've got to stop comparing players to better players. I see this all the time about, Dane Scarlett could be like Harry Kane. There's no evidence. Brennan Johnson could be like Bale. No evidence. Look, if you rate him, cool. I want better. I'm not going to apologise for wanting better footballers at my club. I'm not going to. So I'm not going to apologise. Proud to be a Geordie said there's a difference between a big club and a successful club. Absolutely proud to be a Geordie. There certainly is. If anyone would like to go and see the argument with me and Lee, it was on Saeed's channel yesterday. It's the midday live show. So please, go and watch that if you want to. And you can see how much I'm sticking up for Spurs before I always get told that I'm not sticking up for Spurs. Big up to Tigaro as well, who has said, I wish the FA would clarify the FFP stuff. What the F? Are you talking about for everybody? Look, I just wish that FFP would go away. I do. I think FFP, VAR, they're trying to control football. They're trying to control football to the point where it's just getting messy. And every year we're just going to have clubs docked points, massive fines, goals disallowed that ruin games. I just think it's gone mad. But apparently there's going to be some more news today. Let's see who it is. One thing for sure, we know it's not us. We're not that ambitious to spend loads of money. It's not going to be us, is it? But big up to you, Tigaro. And big up to Rodney, who gifted one Football Heritage TV channel membership. Let me see if I can find out who that was. Rodney. Where did you? So Rodney, that was gifted to Kate. It was gifted to Kate, just a girl who loves Spurs. So big up, Rodney. Thank you so much for that. Come on, people. I'm going to set a little target, shall we? Let's set a little target. Here we go. Look. 12,831. So we've had one today. 12,831. Can we get that to 12,840 and head towards the 13,000 mark? Come on, people. Let's show a little bit of love and support. Where are we? Sorry, I'm just trying to see what time we're on. Okay. Daniel has said players like VDV, Adogi, Bentancur, all coming from abroad and didn't need bedding in. Different levels to Johnson. Yeah. Look, some players take time to bed in, but this is a player from the Premier League, from the English football structure. He's an international footballer. I just don't think he's good enough. Players like VDV, Adogi, and Bentancur, you can see they're just good footballer. They're just good footballers. You can see it. The touch, the control, their mannerisms, everything. Just good players. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, mine went mad, and now Stewie's annoyed because he was on my lap, and he's not No, it's all happening. DJN1 has said, do you think Ange had something to do with choosing Johnson, identifying him as the option to spend 50 million on? And do you trust Ange's talent ID? Right, I hate these sort of comments. Do I think Ange had something to do with it? Well, Ange would have signed it off. Do I trust Ange's talent ID? I think this is going to be like every manager. Yeah, this is going to be like Pep, like Klopp, like everyone. Some of their talent ID is going to be great. Some of it's not going to work out. I'm not going to do this, not saying you've said this, but this Messiah thing that every player Ange picks is going to be the best player we've ever seen. I think he's going to get some right, some wrong. Everyone said this was who he wanted. He's got to make it work, but he's just not for me. I don't know. I find it funny that if a player isn't for you, people get really annoyed if he's not for you. Do you know what I mean? But come on, guys, not one sub. Not one sub. It's embarrassing. Rodri is different source, man. Yeah. Listen, Rodri's he's the best player in the league by a country mile for me. Future's bright. Future's really right. We lose Papasar for him to warm the bench for Senegal. Future, listen, see, so here's the thing again. Look, just because we love him doesn't mean he should be a natural starter for his country. He might still have a bit of a knock. They might be wanting to integrate him slowly. Just because he's on the bench, you can't. Come on, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? When we say Liverpool bought numerous players like Johnson, Carvalho. Right, okay, so here's the difference. I was waiting for this. I can always tell what's going to come in. So Liverpool bought Carvalho, didn't stick him straight in the first team. Very big difference. They bought him as one for the future. Brennan Johnson's played most of our games. City have bought Phillips. City have bought Phillips as a backup, right? City have bought Phillips as a backup and are going to move him on. They're not playing him every game. Huge difference. Context. Right? Difference. Man City can spend 50 million player on a backup player. It don't matter. Tottenham can't spend 50 million on a starter. Yeah, that doesn't work out. Yeah, absolutely, Brandon said Liverpool have players coming from the academy and buy decent players too. Same with Man City, but we buy youngsters, don't use them. Same with the academy players too. Listen, I agree with you. I do agree with that. Shot 11 has said Ange has played 3 centre-backs before with 2 wing-backs. This formation always caused problems for Pep, like Inter, Chelsea. I can't imagine we're suddenly going to shift to wing-backs to play Man City next week. I can't imagine that everything they've just worked on is going to go out the window for that game. I truly don't believe it. Phil Coy said, let's be honest, Savva, we deserve to win the game. If Son of Madison was... Yes, but Phil, no. Phil, you knew Son of Madison weren't going to be starting when you made your crazy 3 or 4-0 prediction, whatever you predicted. So you can't use that after the game. And when you're saying we deserve to win the game, can anyone... we did this yesterday. It's all well and good saying how many shots. Who can tell me when we troubled their goalkeeper? We deserve to win the game. Cool, go on then. Name me. What chances did we have? I can think of chances they missed. I can think Romero hit the bar with a header. Other than that, what chances did we have? So we're saying we deserve to win the game. Phil, this is the problem. I keep having this chat with you. I love you to bits, dude, but you do this every game. You come out with these outrageous scorelines. And I even called you out on it last week. And I said, what will happen is when we don't beat Man U, you'll come in with excuses galore. Straight away there, 2 excuses. 2 excuses. At the end of the day, yeah, you keep saying we're going to batter everyone 3-0 or 4-0 to look like a super fan, but it's not realistic. It's not realism. Why would anyone have thought we were going to batter Man U 3 or 4-0? What on earth was there to suggest we would? Just absolutely madness. Come on, people. I've just lost 4 more subscribers. It really makes the shows not worth doing when we're not growing. Video complete. Sofiane said Jose needs to manage Portugal. He won't be sacked. He won't be sacked because their players are excellent. We'll see. Yeah. I mean, look, it's going to be a big watch now to see what happens with Jose Mourinho moving forward. It's going to be really, really interesting to see. I'll tell you what, I won't mention it for the rest of the show, but I am going to put the link in. If we could get 3 or 4 subscribers, honestly, ask any YouTube creators. It really does help, whether they're on 500, 5,000, 10,000, 15,000. Everyone's trying to learn and grow and move their YouTube business forward. And lots of people come in and watch. And then when people just unsubscribe, it is disheartening. And the fact is, I do a show where it's literally, this show is all about your comments. And I spend an hour and a half talking your comments, bringing them up, debating. It's a lot of hard work. But if anyone would subscribe, the link is in the chat. It is pinned. And I won't mention it again. Richarlison looked like a dud, but has come good. Not for me. I think he's a bang average forward. Again, it depends what you want. It depends what you want. Do you want a player like Richarlison? Is he going to win you league titles? Is he going to win you cups? I don't think he is. I think he's good as part of a squad. I'm happy for him to be a backup striker. For me, again, it's those standards. What do we want as a football club? At the moment, we have a lot of fans talking about Ange's going to win us that. We're going to win us that. We're going to win us that. But then they keep wanting to see Brennan Johnson's, Richarlison's, Timo Werner's. That's fine. But, yeah, it is what it is. Big Mike said, not saying I rate him, but you need to give players a chance. I don't. I said before the season started, I didn't want him at Tottenham Hotspur. I've seen him, Big Mike, I don't know what you're not getting. I've seen him play. Nothing of what I saw of him at Nottingham Forest or Wales made me say, I really, really like this guy. I'd love to see him in a Spurs shirt. Huge difference. Shem Tan said the style of play makes a huge difference. Johnson played C- attacking football. It's why players from Jose Conte era just doesn't work in our team now. I agree with that. If I'm not mistaken, Rafinha is available for transfer because Barca need to sell. I would take him. Listen, different levels of footballers, Rafinha to, aren't they, Phil? Different levels of footballer. Rafinha to Brennan Johnson. Listen, can Rafinha be frustrating? Yes, but he's a very technically gifted footballer with skill, pace, and can take his player on and drives at goal. But it is what it is. A guy done. Oh, I love it when people come to this. Savva Nunez is great, but hasn't got his game together yet. Have you seen his stats in a Liverpool shirt, guy? Have you seen his stats in a Liverpool shirt? I think we brought them up yesterday. It was something like 43 goal contributions in 72 games. Already this season, he's got 18 goal contributions in all competitions. And he doesn't start week in, week out. When we're saying Savva Nunez is great, but hasn't got his game together yet, Faceless Manip said, you're a mouthpiece. Okay. Refusing to engage with real subjects and provide valuable content. Good. Welcome to troll number 1 of the chat. Let's block that person and move on. Big up to you, Faceless. Guy, this isn't even a debate. Phil Foden's one of the best players in the Premier League. We're buying Brennan Johnson's. I'm a bit embarrassed. Thank you, Dean. The amount of content you bring, I do put in quite a lot of hard work, don't I? Philly said it's because you want better players at your club that you're labelled negative. I know. I think it's negative for people that want the average players at the club, right? I think that it's the negative fans are the ones that just say, oh, but he could come good. Philly, we heard this about Lamella for years. Sissoko, Winks, Skip. I heard this about Vincent Janssen, Bergwijn, Lucas, Tanganga, Dyer. I've heard this about Ryan Sessegnon. We hear this about so many players. Let's be fair. Anyone who knows football, you can look at a player and go, come on, they're good enough or they're not. Surely. Yeah. I don't mean Brennan Johnson gets 5 goals and 5 assists this season. We go, oh, good for a first season. I mean, like, watch him play. We need better. Watch them recently for Liverpool. They've both been excellent. I don't know what we're talking about here. They've both been excellent. And these are players levels above Brennan Johnson, like levels above him. And Spurs won against Man United on field tilt. Listen, I just, again, I keep hearing, I do keep hearing that we deserve to win. We should have. I can't remember chances, and I'm waiting for somebody in the chat to tell me what were the chances. What were the chances where we said, oh, we should have scored that and should have won? I don't really remember them. I remember the Romero header against the bar in the first half. Other than that, in the second half, I saw a lot of corners where we sort of scrambled it around in the 6-yard box. Werner dragged one wide. I can't really remember other than that. You could say the same for Man United. McTominay missed a sitter to win the game. Rashford, when he was through on goal, should have scored a couple of times. So I do feel that, I don't know, I do feel that we just say things to make ourselves feel better because we've got predictions massively wrong. I love you, Phil, but this constant, we're going to batter everyone approach, it's getting a bit silly now every week, isn't it? He'll do it again. Loads of people will do it again for Man City game. We're going to batter them 3-0. We're going to batter them 4-0. Then when we don't, it'll be, oh, but this player didn't play, or this goal was disallowed, or just let the team get to a stage where we batter people before we say we're going to batter people. Of course, some would have put them away, but we knew some wasn't playing, didn't we? You know, it's like Man City saying for the last 9 games, oh, well, we've won 3-0, 3-1. We would have won 6-1 if Haaland was playing. It is what it is. It is what it is. Yeah, man, always keep my head up. Always keep my head up. It's just, honestly, it does. I can't explain to people that if there's any other YouTube creators in the channel, they'll be able to tell you it does make you feel better when you see some subscribers and people liking and that. It makes you feel better. Because it is hard work. It really, really is hard work. Anyone will tell you that. Patrick has said, when we won the Cup in 91, Spurs had some very bang average players. Like who? Like who? We had some fantastic players, though, right? I thought we had a very good team in 1991, didn't we? Players like Paul Stewart, Paul Walsh, Gary Lineker, Paul Gascoigne, Gary Mabbott, Pat Vanden Houwe. I mean, we had some brilliant players. Naeem, Samways. Who were the bang average players, Patrick? I'd love to know your thoughts on that one. Big up Sacanelli. He's been a member for 7 months. Like and subscribe, you Brennan Johnson merchants. Yeah. GBC fan, big up to you, bro. I said Rafinha is absolutely frustrating, but he can deliver. Oh, listen, there's no differences there. There's no comparison between Rafinha and Brennan Johnson. Different levels of footballer. Revenite says, Savva, that is not true about Nunez. He hasn't got his finishing together, not his game altogether. He has got the most big chances missed. But I just gave you facts about what he's done in a Liverpool shirt in his career. I'll show you. Right, here we go. Darwin Nunez. So when you're saying it's not true, I read out facts yesterday. Darwin Nunez this season. So in the Premier League, he's had 19 games, of which only 12 are starts, by the way. 12 starts. And he's got 11 goal contributions in 12 starts and 19 appearances. That's not bad. In the domestic cups this year, yeah, in the EFL Cup, he has played 4 games, got 4 goal contributions. So 1 every game. In the international cups, so in the Europa League this year, he's played 5 games and got 3 goal contributions. Yeah. So all of that added up, plus everything he did last year, he's got some really good stats. Is he the best finisher in the world? No, of course he's not. We know that. But God, he's dangerous every game. Down that left, bullying people, driving in, crossing the ball, assisting. Sorry, but we've got to come on. I agree, that's the fun. People saying Richarlison has come good. Every chance he has outside the 6-yard box, he messes up. Listen, the thing for me is, I think what people, if we're going to say he's come good, it's like turning around and saying Dominic Solanke is the best player in the country because he's the most informed striker. It's crazy. People can have a good patch, but they just completely dismiss the first 55 games of his career at Spurs. No, he's not for me. He's not for me. It's not for me. Yeah. Listen, he's doing well. I'm not knocking him for that. But do you want him? If I said to you, you need to go and win the league title, go and rely on Richarlison. Are you telling me that's your guy? Come on. Yeah, come on. Let's not do that. Rochi Baby said, top players don't want to come to Spurs. We don't win trophies and we don't pay big wages. Surely I'm told it's the opposite, that people want to come and play for Angepostecoglou. No? Great. Craig said, not sure you mentioned my comment. Sorry, have I missed... something. Not sure you mentioned my comment. When is the Man City game in the cup? It's next Friday night. So not this Friday night, next Friday night. You know, I'm not shutting anyone's down. Phil, I'm not shutting anyone's opinion down aggressively. People put in an opinion. I then break it down with facts or points or whatever. And sorry, Phil. Sorry. Does everyone feel like this? I'm one of the only channels that allows people to come in and bring up all their comments and talk to everyone for an hour and a half. And then I get Muppets like you. And yeah, I am calling you a Muppet, saying you don't have to shut people's down. It's not aggressively. Jesus. The world has gone soft, isn't it? Aggressively. Have you seen? I've been receiving death threats all week. I get people coming into my chat calling me a CUNT. And you think me arguing, debating people's points is aggressive? Get a grip. How 2023 is this world going to get? Unbelievable. Phil Coys said that Oscar Bob looks the real deal. Yeah, young, got to be given time. But listen, Pep don't bring through bad players, does he? Let's be brutally honest. Vibrant Copper has said the thoughts on João Gomez from Wolves. We are linked to him. I like him. He's a good player. I've seen we've been linked with him, but I haven't seen anything concrete that's linking us to him. Savva, notice how I rarely ever pick Newcastle to batter anyone because I can take a step back and see what we're capable of. Mate, absolutely. We've got Spurs fans now that are definitely not capable of taking a step back. And what they do is, right, they'll go 3-0, 4-0. I'll go, I don't know. I think it's going to be a 2-1 win or 2-all. I actually didn't say a 2-1 win. And it's, but you're negative. I think there's a lot of toxic positivity that flies around. Positive is good, but every game this season, Steve, you've seen it in my chats. 4-0 this. We're going to batter them. Sheffield United, we're going to batter them 5-0. We're going to batter Burnley in the FA Cup 5-0. We're going to batter Liverpool. So we're going to batter Arsenal. We're going to batter these. And very rarely does it happen. Savva doesn't think Son is world class, but put him next to Werner. Anyone's world class next to Werner, but the two things have got nothing to do with each other. Samways isn't that a prison? No, Vinny Samways, who played for Spurs in the 1991 FA Cup winning team, very good footballer. Lynn says, Savva, some of your fans are like ours. They forget about the players we've had in the past. So like Glenn Hoddle for you was only average. I think this is the problem. I've seen so many top players at Spurs, but when I see players like Brennan Johnson, Sessegnon, Werner, I'm underwhelmed because I've seen much better. Well, this is nice. Blue is the colour. It said, you Spud fans are a bunch of egotistic knobs. People say stuff you don't want to hear and you cry about it. Thanks for coming. Really enjoyed that comment. Big up. Rodney says, school them Savva. Nunez is dangerous. Fact. I do like what he brings. I mean, straight away, Liverpool bought him off the bench the other day, and him and Diaz and Jota ran through Arsenal. They destroyed them. And then I'm told he's not very good. The problem is, Rodney, people can only look at goals and assists. This is all we can look at. People look at Richarlison's game now. Oh, he's come good. He's still not good up. He doesn't hold the ball up. He can't finish. Let's be honest. He's finishing. If it's 6 yards out on goal, he can score. When he's one-on-one with a keeper, when he's 20 yards out, it's awful. But it is what it is. No, I can't imagine. I can't imagine if that would happen. No, he's just not good enough. No one wins the league titles with a guy like this up front. Unless anyone can tell me who's won a league title with a player like Richarlison up front. Let's do this game. I do love it. Absolutely. I think surely people want that, right? Surely, do people just want to go to a channel where they go, oh, Johnson's really good, he'll come good, and someone goes, yes, he will. Thank you. Great comment. Please come again. Nah, come on. We're football fans. We want to debate. We want to debate things and talk around the points. Surely people know that if they come to my channel that I'm not just going to turn around and go, yeah, that's brilliant. It's madness. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Lee Jennings has said, Morning Savva, I hear what you're saying as regards to wanting the best for our club. Fortunately, I don't think our current owners are going to go the extra mile. I agree, Lee, but you don't have to go out and get the best to get better than Brennan Johnson was my point in the summer. That was my point in the summer. It's not about hindsight. I just didn't want him. I thought there were so many better players available. And for me, it was poor scouting. It is what it is. Good morning, Gons, Football and Things. So good morning, mate. Don't listen to them. It's all right. Imagine if Richie wins the Golden Boot. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Erling Haaland, Salah and the boys will have something to say about that. Yeah, damn right. I will. There's a difference between do people want to actually have football conversations? It's honestly so many channels I watch, not just Spurs, so many channels I watch where everything's just light and it's fluffy and everyone's great. That's fine. That ain't me. I'm not knocking those people. It ain't me. You know it's not me. So, let's have proper football conversations. Do you think Paul Stewart and Steve Sedgley are any better than Richarlison or Højbjerg? Not sure. I remember the side finishing 10th in the league and having a good cup run because of Gaza. Paul Stewart is much better footballer than Richarlison. I mean, I've no idea what that comparison is. Steve Sedgley and Højbjerg. The difference is Højbjerg is a player we're looking to leave. He's not playing in our first team at the moment if it's not for all the injuries. So I'm not sure what point you're making there. I really, really don't know what point you're making there. Hang on. 1 second. 1 second. 1 second. I just want to check something. 1 second. 1 second. Hold the line, caller. Hold the line. I just don't understand. I just don't understand this. I can't do it. I just can't do it. There were some fantastic players in that Spurs team. There were some fantastic players in that Spurs team that won the FA Cup. Ronnie has said Torchvet, Edinburgh, Van den Hal, Sedgley, Howes, Mabbott, Stewart, Gascoigne, Samways, Lineker, Allen. I mean, Paul Allen was a fantastic player. Lineker's class. Samways, good player. Gascoigne's world class. Paul Stewart was very good. Mabbott's one of the best centre-halves we ever had. David Howe, Sedgley, all right, these might not have been superstars, but what a job they did for Tottenham. Van den Hal was quality. Edinburgh, solid left back. Torchvet, a solid goalkeeper. Take the mick out of who? I don't know what that, Angus, what does that mean? Did you see Omri? Did I see Omri take the mick out of yous last night? Angus, you should worry about your own club. You spent a lot of money and are failing. You should worry about your own club. Absolutely bang on. Son is not world class. He's a very good player who scores world class goals. Boom. That's exactly what I think. Big up, Kate. Matthew has said, hey, Sav, you think and say exactly as I do. Fans are too emotionally attached to our players like Richie. Yeah, but it doesn't go down well because, again, I've just lost loads more subscribers. It doesn't go down well. We've been emotionally attached, Matthew, to players for many years. We've got fans that are like they seem like they're at the moment. It seems like we've got fans that are a fan of Postecoglou and not Tottenham. We've had fans that seem like they were Ndombele fans, not Spurs fans. Same with Jose. Jose had that as well. Jose fans, not Spurs fans. It seems like we've got that with Son. It seems like we've got that with so many players. Sissoko had it. Davinson Sanchez had it. You know, you couldn't say anything about Davinson Sanchez without people getting really protective over what was a very poor centre-back. But it is what it is. No, you've got to go full strength. They're the best team in the world. You've got to go full strength. But Philip, because you lied. And when you said I'm a joker, which is why Sean and Henry's channels have been going a lot longer than me. You do realise that, Philip. So when you keep coming here and attacking me like you do, I'm going to attack back. Don't do that. Yeah? You attack me, I attack back, I'm the bad guy. I'm not doing that. Listen, I'm not doing that at all. Just because I put my face to a name doesn't mean that I don't have the right to say to answer back. I'm sorry, it can't be this. Let's see. Do any of these other channels you mentioned bring up everyone's comments every show? No? You saying Sean and Henry have more subs than me doesn't hurt me. They've been going longer than me. How long have their channels been going compared to mine? Use your brain. And I'll call you it again. That's why you're a muppet. You don't engage your brain, you twat. God, sorry, people. I just can't. I hate when people do that. It's a free show, and you got losers like this that come in. Oh, you said something bad about a Spurs player. Oh, you said we wouldn't beat Man United. You're so negative. Oh, good God. Get a grip. Get a grip. Yes, Gaza did do his knee in the 91 final. Yes, and it was an injury that changed the course of his career. Love to sign a Vlahovic. I think when you sign a Vlahovic, you'll start seeing a huge difference between a Vlahovic and a Richarlison. Many players have scored over 150 goals that aren't world class. What? I mean, we're talking he scored over 150 goals in 8 years. You know, someone like Erling Haaland will score over 150 goals in about 4 seasons, maybe 3. So this isn't like, why is this now the pedestal to be called world class? Jamie Vardy scored over 150 goals. Is he world class? I'll leave that with you, Dr. Tottenham. Is Jamie Vardy world class? He scored over 150 goals. Yeah. I think Son scored a good number of goals, but I do feel like everyone's going on like he's hit Harry Kane numbers or Aguero numbers or Haaland numbers. He hasn't. He's a good... whenever we have this conversation, it seems like I don't like Son. I do really like Son. I just don't put him on this pedestal that others do. For me, there's too many games where I don't notice him. There's too many games where I don't notice him. Yeah, and sorry anybody that felt the same way as that Philip Wardell guy. I don't like it when people try and play me against other YouTubers. I'm pretty content with just under 13,000 in 20 months. Jesus Christ, what am I meant? Like, you know, unfortunately, people like that Philip Wardell, what they want is they want to go onto a show where their comment gets read out. It's not answered. It's not their comment just gets read out or doesn't get read out, and they feel gratified with their comment. They come here and I will debate their comment, and then they get annoyed. So Kane is not world class. Scores a lot of meaningless goals. Zero chance we could be so much better without Kane. Zero chance we could be so much better without Kane than with him. Remember when we made the Champions League final without him? Yeah, Harry Kane, terrible forward. Terrible forward. Are you telling me, I'm going to ask everyone in this chat, is anyone telling me if Harry Kane wasn't in this team, we wouldn't be better? Really? Wow. How quickly fans forget. Honest, don't worry about it, Dean. Dean, people just love it. It's fine. Yeah, well, Philip, I did. He can go to those channels. They won't read his comments out. I've got nothing against those guys. They've got a different style of how they do their shows to what I do. Yeah, but to throw that at me, it's absolutely mad. Well, I'm not even going to get into that debate. Pottermaker said, okay, I completely disagree with you. Fans, including you and I, are all amateurs at the end of the day. If KDB, Trent, and other Premier League players call Son as one of the best, it matters. Yeah, but does this mean every time a pro calls another pro world class, they're world class? Come on, Pottermac. Come on. You know, I think Son's a top footballer. World class means doing it week in, week out, in, year out, huge numbers. Look at Salah's numbers compared to Son. If we want to go down the numbers route, if we want to talk about numbers, look at Salah compared to Son. I mean, how can they both be put on the same pedestal? Future's bright. Future's Lily White says Son is too inconsistent to be world class. My favourite player, but world class players are very consistent. Yeah, agreed. But the problem is, Future's bright. What people will do is go, oh, you don't like him because you said he's not world class. You can still love a player without thinking they're world class. I don't think any footballer at Tottenham is world class or anywhere near it, if I'm honest. Absolutely. Players will always say players are good. It's the same as managers. Yes, and yes. Well, there are discussions. How can we say there are period no discussions? I mean, is world class scoring more than 20 goals once in your career? That's not world class, is it? Once. Sorry. For me, if you was world class, you would have been snapped up by a Real Madrid, a Barcelona, someone. Oh, sorry. How many red cards would Gaza have got for that tackle today? Oh God, yeah. God. Yeah. Shocking. It wasn't a good tackle. I think he knows it. He knew the moment it happened. Thank you to the 2 people that just subscribed to get me back to feeling like it's worth it. Thank you. I really do appreciate that. And by the way, we don't have to do these shows every day. I just use it as a platform to bring people together, to chat football, chat Spurs, chat football, and unfortunately get people like Phil who don't like it. So Sorry, Philip Woodell. Sorry, mate. Rodney has said, Savva, idea, get a building. It's 4 trolls, move on. Listen, it's madness, isn't it? How people, you would think they're paying for a subscription, right? You would think that they're paying, and I'm forcing them to pay to watch me. But listen, everyone can have their opinion, but I'm allowed to debate it, right? I'm allowed to debate. Jason has said, some wouldn't make the City or Real Madrid first 11. He's a great player for the club, but not world class. I agree. Brandon, I agree. I do think our fans become far too attached. We'll do it with loads of them now. Like in 2 years, let's pick a player at random. Just a player at random. Let's go with Mickey van der Ven. If in 2 years Real Madrid came in for Mickey van der Ven, our fans would lose their mind. But the difference is top players are always moving to top clubs all the time. All the time. Yeah. Sometimes you have to sell players and reinvest the money and buy 2 or 3 players with that money and build and grow. And it's what the top clubs do. Liverpool constantly losing good players. City constantly move on good players. I just think we become a little bit too attached to them. Just my opinion. I've always said it. Linda said, with a side of football and just bought Spurs, you would definitely be in a title race. With Harry Kane, sure. With Harry Kane, sure. Matthew said, we would be top of the league, even with all the injuries and suspension if Kane was playing. Listen, Kane is a difference maker. Kane makes things happen out of nothing. Yeah, that's the difference between him and other players. Out of nothing. Yeah, Master Man. Savva, listen to Steve Perriman after dinner speech. He said he was that old. He remembers when an assist was just called a pass. I love it. What a legend he was for Tottenham Hotspur, by the way. Right, people, can we get 2 or 3 more subscribers? If you want real football talk, if you want real discussions, real debates, rather than just fluffiness, yes, you're in the right place. If you're not, probably not in the right place. Big up Josh from Spurs Live. Said, hey, Sav, I hope you're well. What did you make of the Werner debut? Yeah, I mean, it was okay. I mean, it was, he looked like a player who hadn't played for a while. He looked a bit rusty. I thought he did okay. Nothing to write home about, nothing to criticise. I thought he didn't do anything great. He didn't do anything bad. It is what it is. Yeah, so, shot. Bayern fans are complaining. That's why Kane plays in midfield and sometimes goes up front. God, have you seen the number of goals he scored for them? We would have finished 15th last year without Kane. People forget very quickly. Jeffrey, I think Salah for me is on the edge of it. If I'm being brutally honest, I don't think Salah's an amazing technical footballer, but his output is just different class. World class at what, Cam? Is Ange world class at what? If we're going to call managers world class, who are you putting in that bracket? I can't believe we're doing these. Yes, brilliant guy. I just think he's the next level below for me when I look at world class players. Big up, Steve has said people call their players world class to make themselves feel better. Social media clout. It's like monopoly money. Completely agree. Steve, tell a few of these people to subscribe. We've lost a few today. People don't like brutal honesty. Agreed. Ronnie, I don't always agree with you. You don't always agree with me. We have a back and forth, but I love it. This is what I love, right? Anybody that knows me now and understands me, I'd love to think most of you do, right? I'd love to think most of you do. You know that just I'm passionate when I talk about football. So sometimes I'll say, Ronnie, completely disagree with you there, bro. Don't agree with that. Other times I'll say, really agree with you, Ronnie. Blah, blah. That's how it is. Come on. Let's not be so shallow that if I say something you disagree with, that automatically you unsubscribe and turn into Philip Wardell. Come on, people. Let's not do that. Right, let's go back to this. Is Ange world class? What does that mean, Cam? I'd really like to know, what does that mean? How could we assess if Ange is world class as a manager? It's difficult, right? Because he's not a Klopp. He's not a Pep. He's not done what Jose's done in the game. He's not done what Ancelotti's done. Simeone. Could he do it? Sure. His career's not finished. But you can't be putting him in the bracket with those guys yet, can you? Cam, I know you're Australian and you keep coming in here and everything you say is just in utter 100% defense of anything you think might be slightly against Postecoglou. But world class at what? World class at what? It's interesting. Brett, I agree with you. The term world class is thrown around too frequently, just like the term legend. And yes, Kane is world class. Agree with you. If Son was playing for Liverpool, sorry, Sonny played in some very good Tottenham teams and didn't ever hit those numbers Salah did. So there's no excuse. Son played in Tottenham teams that battered Liverpool when Salah was playing for Liverpool and didn't hit those numbers. So why? For many of the years that Mo Salah has been at Liverpool, Sonny's finished above him in a Spurs shirt. So why? Hey, just it is what it is. DJN1 has said, who's the best player to have played in the Prem, in your opinion, Savva? For me, it's clearly Ronaldo. I don't get the debate of Henry, KDB, etc. I would say, I mean, I guess there's two ways of looking at this. If it's the best player to have ever played in the Premier League or the best player while they're in the Premier League. For me, if it's the best player to have played in the Premier League, factually, from all the trophies, from all the Ballon d'Ors, it's Cristiano Ronaldo. If it's for what they did in the Premier League, it's Thierry Henry, without a shadow of a doubt in my mind. But it depends which angle you're coming at. Which angle are you looking at this? As I said, context is well important when having football conversations. Stevie C has said, if Kane was still in this team with Madders and Son and a good defence, I bet we'd have a 5 or 6 points, 6 more points, and therefore be top of the Prem. I think we'd definitely be 4 or 5 points higher up. There would have been games where he's won us, where we've drawn. Absolutely. Pottermack said, hey, he has Savva. I'm pretty sure players like KDB and Trent knows what they're talking about. Yeah, but Pottermack, we can't just say because somebody is a footballer and they say he's world class, it makes them world class. They'll all call each other world class. Oh, he's a you hear it all the time. He's a world class player. He's a world class player. World class player. Look, for me, if you're a world class player, why have you never moved to a top club? I don't get it. If you are a world class player, why have you never left Tottenham Hotspur? Let's be let's be honest about it. Sorry. Matthew says, Son has had world-class games and moments and goals. He does make you sit on the edge of your seat, unlike a Johnson. I think every now and then he makes me sit on the edge of my seat. I don't think consistently. There's so many games I watch him and I just think he's done nothing. But then he's got that moment of magic which can win you a game. But it's not consistent enough for me. I think we should probably stop the show. I'm losing subscribers for fun. I don't understand, which is absolutely mad. Hello has said, saying Son isn't world class. He only got 20 goals in one league in the league once isn't a good argument. He's a winger. No. I'm not saying that was one thread to it. I don't think he's world class. I don't think off the ball he does enough. If I watch him off the ball, I don't look at him and think, yeah, your hold-up play is brilliant. You bring others into the game. You bamboozle defenders. So it's not just that. But listen, I don't think many players are world-class. We talk about Son a lot because he's at Spurs, but I don't think many players are world-class. Son took over Defoe's all-time Tottenham goals. He sipped by Cliff Jones, for God's sake. Yeah, so what? So I don't know what the point. I don't understand your point. What's the point of that? Listen, people are allowed to not think he's world class. Yeah, people are allowed to think that. Matt said, "Do you still agree with Levy selling Kane?" Absolutely. Harry Kane wanted to leave the football club. It's really, really basic to understand. I said this in the summer. I know what you're getting at, Matt. Here, Daniel Levy had to sell Harry Kane because Harry Kane had 1 year left on his contract, and you cannot let him go on a free. He wanted to leave twice in 3 years. At what point are we going to say, right, we understand that? Yeah. What point? No, Kratchkillia isn't world class. No, he's a very promising player. Had a very good year last year. Not as good this year. No. Well, world class is Mbappe's world class. Vinicius Junior is world class. KDB is world class. Rodri's world class. I think Bernardo Silva, you watch Bernardo Silva play football, watch him play, what he does. Haaland, that's world class. Lewandowski was, but I think he's getting a bit older now. But you can't just make everyone world class. It's madness. Yeah, listen, there's nothing, by the way, can we just say this? There's nothing wrong with not being world class. Not everyone needs to be labelled as world class. Not everyone has the same opinion. For anyone that thinks he's world class, I've got no problem with that. I think he's world class. Cool. We've got different levels of what we think a world class player is or should do. That's fine. It's not a problem. I mean, look, you have to prove world class with achievements, in my opinion. I mean, look, there's that way of looking at it. A lot of people say. Vibrant Copper said, you agree some won't start for City in the place of Doku or Grealish. I think the difference is that the style of football Man City play, again, people don't think about the City play. They don't play full tilt 100 miles per hour, which is what Son does. These players will keep the ball, bring others into the game, have tremendous footwork, right? Hold the ball up, draw foul. Sonny's not that type of guy, which is why I don't think he would fit in as well as what people think he would. There's a difference. Sometimes you have to look at the style of footballer versus the style of coach, the style. For me, I just think that they buy what they need for a reason. They've never tried to buy Son. Ask yourself why they've never tried to buy Son. Why has no one tried to buy him? I know. Son has had 28 or more goal assists for 7-8 seasons at Tottenham. Only year he was under was last season when he was injured. Okay, you can listen. If you think he's world class, run with it. You're not going to convince me. I use my eyes. I watch him play. He's not good enough technically as a footballer for me to call him world class. A lot breaks down on him, so not for me. ST has said your channel has been blown up recently. Big up. Goes to show hard work pays off. Come on, you Gunners. Thank you, ST. I really do appreciate that. Really, really do. Angus, yes, I believe he is. Yes, I believe he is. I believe that he was the most in form. I agree. I don't know what makes a manager world class. What makes a manager world class? I don't know. I think it'll be so soon to judge, is Ange world class? Listen, I think he's done it in some leagues where people would expect him to do it. Let's be brutally honest. I think to be put in the bracket there, you've got to have done things at the highest level. We'll see. We'll see. Rob Brown said, Savva, would you have Kane back in the system, or do you think he would revert back to relying on him too much? I would. In this system, he'd flourish up front. Yeah. The movement. Yeah. So absolutely. I think he's brilliant. Laughable that people think Kane is different maker when we're so much better without him now. I can't take this. Sorry. I don't know everyone else. You're going to have a go at me for saying this. I can't take comments like this seriously. This isn't a worthwhile opinion. It's just nonsense. Strasbourg Steve says, Savva, who would you rather play a five-a-side with? Guti, De Bruyne or Kaka? Oh. Steve, 3 top footballers. It depends. It depends. I think De Bruyne and Kaka are similar-ish. Guti's not the same as them. I think Guti would hold on to the ball magnificently. But, oh, God, they're all class players. You wouldn't mind, would you? I think it's probably about the regularity that the goals go in and the chances that the style of finishes. So, for example, Richarlison scored a few goals, but he's a horrible finisher, isn't he? He's a horrible finisher. God's Hand has said, I don't think there's a single team that wouldn't start Son if they had him. Yes, City, Real Madrid included. So Real Madrid are going to start him over Vinicius Jr.? I don't think so. I don't think so, my man. I don't think so. Sorry. I think. Listen, yeah, not for me. I reckon I am as well. Again, not real Tottenham fans. Not real Tottenham fans. Fan of one player. I didn't see Korea versus Bahrain. What was the score? I'm guessing Korea won that game, but let me know. World-class players don't go disappearing for a whole season like last year. They impact a team regardless. Look, for me, I feel like I want to get off the subject of Son. Listen, I love Son. Son's a brilliant player, but I just don't think he's world-class. I don't think, by the way, Kate, you know me, I don't think many players are world-class. This isn't about Son. Loads of people go, he's world-class. Really? Not Son. I mean, loads of players. Loads of players. God, there's so many people still in the chat. Big up to each and every one of you. Can we get a couple more likes? We should be at 300 likes. We're only on 241. And I'm going to ask nicely. Look, listen, unfortunately, we lost a couple of subscribers. Can we get that to 12,835? 6 people in the chat, surely, providing a free platform, putting on shows for you every day. So please, please, please. Not for me. Class act, Anelka. Class act. Again, another inconsistent player. Henry for me was different level. See, when you say world class, look at Henry. Now look at Salah and Son. This is what I mean. This is how footballers, fans' association with the world class has dropped. Look at some of the players that have played. I mean, Ginola was is he world class? Is he not? Watch him play compared to the players we're mentioning. Different class. Matt said, I just won the Kane in the system, would have had 15, 20 goals by now, and we could be winning the league. Would have been possibly losing him on a free. Yeah, but Matt, Daniel Levy is not going to risk losing a player like Harry Kane on a free transfer. If Daniel Levy had let Harry Kane go on a free, the fans would have gone mental. Everyone says, oh, it might have been worth. Matt, come on, you know it. They would have gone mental. Spurs cannot let him. Look, Sol Campbell came. I'm looking at the 3 best players in the Premier League era that have come through our youth team. Whether you like his name or not, Sol Campbell, Ledley King, Harry Kane are the best 3. 2 of them left for nothing, right? King obviously retired with injuries from Spurs, right? But Sol Campbell went on a free. Couldn't let Harry Kane go on a free as well. You just can't do it. It would have been crazy. I think he's much more suited to Liverpool than Man City. I'll give you that, Ronnie. Much more suited to the style that Klopp plays. Now, he does get in at Liverpool for me. He does get in on the left-hand side for Liverpool. But for me, very different styles between Pep and Klopp. We'll go for another 5 minutes. I sense that a few people might be getting a bit bored now, so we'll go. Yes. And yes, did it at the highest level. Big clubs, won titles in the World Cup. He was sensational. His hold-up play was brilliant. His passing was good in the air, good with both feet, volleys, just a class footballer. This guy was a class footballer. And it's funny, when I'm always asked, what's your Premier League Spurs 11? What's your Premier League Spurs 11 of all time? And I always put this guy in above Son, and people go, oh, what do you mean? And I'm like, did you watch Klinsmann play? Just different. Stupid, scary eye test with no effectiveness. Vinny Jr. played for Real for 6 years and has only scored 38. He's got four total at the Liga. Scary eye test. No, Pottermac. He's been at 17 years of age. He went straight into the best team in the world. And he's, again, I'm not just doing this on goals and assists. Watch them play. I can't deal with it. If anyone thinks Son is better than Vinicius Jr., it is definitely stat merchants. It can't just be on stats. It really, really can't be just on stats. Vinicius Jr. is 23 years of age. Yeah. He's 23 years of age. He's been playing for Real Madrid in the first team since the age of 17. How good is that? How good is that? Wow. And you're just knocking him like that. You do realise he's only played 10 games in the league this season, by the way, when we're saying he's got 4 goals. You know, he's only played 10 games. So, and I'm just going to see if he's played 90 minutes. He played 59 minutes against Mallorca. He played 80 minutes against Valencia. He's played 4 90-minute games this season. 4 90-minute La Liga games this season. So when you're going to start putting, he's got 4 total at La Liga, you've got to do your homework. This is what I mean. Stat merchants can ruin football. Context. Sure, absolutely. But listen, let people, I'm a huge believer, let people achieve things before we put them on a pedestal. Let them achieve. I'm not saying Angepostecoglou can't be world class, but what does it mean? What does it mean? I really, really don't know what it means for a manager yet. I don't think anyone could sit and say Postecoglou is world class. Vibrant Copper said the dude cried in the Carabao Cup final when we lost against City. Okay. Yeah, not for me. I don't think they would. It's just me. Just we. 3-1 to Korea, was it? 3-1 to play. Yeah, lots of people talking about Lee Kang. Steve, you've mentioned him on my show a number of times, Lee Kang as well. So interesting. I'll have to check him out a little bit more. For me, not on the level as the others. I mean, I think Bale was world class, did it year in, year out, year in, year out. I think Mickey Hazard had world class seasons. Was he world class? I mean, as a footballer, he was sublime, but he did have, you're right, he had a year or so where he went missing. But as a footballer, who are you picking as a footballer, Son or Hazard, in their peak? I don't know. I mean, Hazard for me is the type of player I like, real type of player I like. By the way, it's okay, guys and girls. It's okay for not everyone to think everyone is world class. Who is the best goalkeeper of all time? Oh God. I mean, people will start talking about Gordon Banks. They'll start talking about Lev Yashin. People will talk about Schmeichel. They'll talk about Casillas, Buffon. Hard to tell, isn't it? Different eras. Yes, Angus, I agree with you on this. These players were different. When we called these players world class, they just oozed quality. Even when they played badly, they just looked quality. They're just top footballers. Right, Pottermac, yeah, let's stop this, please. Whoa. Stop this, please. Your amateur opinion. We're all amateurs. By the way, I used to work for Cheltenham, right? I used to work for Cheltenham Athletic, and I worked with some coaches that had played at the top level of football and had won European trophies. Some of their opinions were horrendous. Yeah? Some of them said to me, don't think that just because someone's played football that their opinion is better than anyone else's. So stop this right now. I won't have this. Your amateur opinion is so irrelevant. And get this through your thick head. I won't have that. Kate, if you want that person blocked, let me know. But Pottermac, you're normally nicer than this, so please stop. Yeah, let's not do that. Let's not do this at all. Bergkamp was different gravy. He was. I'm gutted he played for them. Different gravy. No, I know. I'm just. Unfortunately, I was made redundant in my in my industry. My industry's gone through. I work in talent. The industry's gone through a little bit of a dip. So we're just waiting for it to pick up again. So just doing this in the meantime. So no. Imagine calling Kane. Oh, not this guy again. When he didn't even win our Player of the Year in 3 of the last 5 seasons. Son was our best player in recent seasons. Yeah, Son was magical last year, wasn't he? Yeah, Son was magical last year. Daniel Steiner says, Savva, the world-class debate is nonsense. It's different levels in different leagues, so it's about consistent levels of performance. Enjoy the moment at the end of their career, can make the judgment. I mean, it's not nonsense. I mean, people like the conversation or everyone wouldn't be joining in. It's different levels in different leagues, sure, but it goes in cycles, doesn't it? Different levels in different leagues. But what does that mean? Is Mbappe not world-class because he's in a lesser league? I agree. I struggle. I look around the league. I don't think there are. What world-class players are even in the Prem? I think you outside of City, are there any? I'm not sure. Big up Kate, who has said, it's all personal opinion. I would look at world-class players as being generational talents. Son is one of my favourite players, but I think the world-class thing is thrown about way too often. I agree. Absolutely, I agree with this. Yeah, scared the crap out of us, didn't he? Every time we played. Yeah. If you asked European managers of Son as well, sure, okay, cool. Good on them. Sipa Mandler Rodri is everything. Rodri is brilliant at everything. He makes the best team in the world tick. He got a move to one of the best teams in the world at a young age, has now made that midfield position his own. The problem they've now got is they can't get an understudy that can be anywhere near as good as him that makes the game go. He is absolutely class. How much 200 million. If we're talking about some of the prices I'm seeing for footballers, Omri would be 200 million north. Players aren't like him anymore. They don't make them like that. Sean, much more than that, mate. We've just seen Caicedo go for 115 million. Much more than that. Just Jim, big up Jim. Not seen you in here for ages. Said Savva, just watched the side stream. It was lovely to see you stick up for Spurs so passionately. You spoke so much sense. We're on the up trajectory and long may it continue. Absolutely. Jim, just for your record, when I go on other shows, I will always stick up for Spurs if it's the right thing to do. What I won't do is just say, I won't just do it for the sake of it. But look, I will stick up for Spurs. I do think it's very good. I do think what's happening, I've said this all season. I'm really pleased with the direction we're going in. I love the process that we're in at the moment. And I think I think that everything is good. You know me, I'm just willing to just wait a little bit. Oh, can we get 2 more subscribers in the next 5 minutes before the show ends? 2 more. Come on, people. Let's show some. Let's be nice. 2 more subscribers. Let's do this, shall we? Come on. 2 more. Big up to absolutely everybody who has liked, subscribed, and joined in the show. We'll go for another 5 minutes. Jason. I mean, that's a bit harsh. I like Tim Carroll as a player, but nowhere near that. The thing is, Son is a charismatic guy. So does that warp the conversation a bit? Listen, I think Son is the ultimate professional. I think he's a lovely guy. I think he's a really good finisher. I just think compared to what I grew up watching, I just don't look at his feet. I don't look at his footwork. I don't look at his technical ability. I don't look at his hold-up play and think, oh, that's world class. I just don't. You know, if you're not going to be that guy, score 30, 40, 50 a season. But for me, he's a top player, just a little bit below, just for me. Mickey Hazard, he was a good player. Mickey Hazard was a good player. This is the difference. In his peak, Eden Hazard won Chelsea a Premier League almost single-handedly. He was brilliant. That's probably going over the top. But he was absolutely phenomenal that season. People couldn't get the football off him. He was different. He was just different. Where are we? Sorry, people now talking about the goalkeepers. You got people like Neuer, Pat Jennings, Hugo Lloris, Buffon, Edwin van der Sar. By the next World Cup, it'll be Vicario. Well, look again. Vicario done very well. Give the guy time. Give him consistency. Let him do it over a number of years. Neville Southall, good goalkeeper was Neville. Part of that great Everton team, wasn't he? No, I know, Kate, but I don't like that. I don't like that because you didn't attack. I attacked that guy because he attacked me, but this guy didn't. This guy attacked you, so you didn't do anything to him. Was the Brazil 82 team? Well, Jesus Christ, are we just? I mean, when we say was it a world class team? I mean, you do come out. You didn't even answer my question about you asked about Ange, and then I didn't know. Do you think Ange is world class? Do you think Ange is world class? You didn't even answer that, and now you've moved on to the World Cup winners. I don't know. Was the team of 82 world class from Brazil? I don't know. I mean, it's a long time ago for me to be remembering, if I'm brutally honest. Zola, different gravy. See, when I've seen players like Zola, then you're talking to me about Son. There's levels to this. Right now, I do. As I said, I think there's a real lack of world class players. Bob Brown. I don't know how we can say he's not world class. If Haaland is world class, I mean, are we really doing this? Are we really doing this? This guy is beyond world class. Are we really Erling Haaland not world class? This is where I know Spurs fans that are now arguing that Son is, are now saying that Erling Haaland isn't. This is absolutely embarrassing. What are we doing here? Look at this, right? Look at this. I'm going to show you this. Not world class yet. What are we doing? Look at this. Look at these numbers. This is insane. Look at these numbers. These numbers alone are insane. He got 52 goals in 53 games last year. He's got 19 in 22 this year. 29 in 30 the year before that. 41 in 41 the year before that. 29 in 27 the year before that. 16 in 18. For Norway, what's he got? For Norway, 27 in 29. How on earth is this guy not world class? Wow. Name me a team that, oh my God, this is madness. Anyway, I think that's probably the right time to stop. Probably the right time to stop. Oh, big up, Jim. Thank you. Much love, brother. And I do hope you are well. But someone else, as you did it, just unsubscribed. So that's really, really nice. I love it. I think it's a good time to stop when people start talking about Erling Haaland not being world class. Absolutely madness. Cam, I'm not going to Google Brazil 82. I don't need to. You keep asking all these questions. World-class communicator. Sure. Let's have a look. No. This is the thing. When we start comparing, before we compare, Poch, for all of his negatives and positives, and before we signed Postecoglou, most of our fans were crying for Pochettino back. And now, listen, Pochettino finished second, third, Champions League final, League Cup finals, 2 League Cup finals, I believe, FA Cup semi-finals. Can we at least wait for this manager to do any of that before we start comparing them? Madness. I haven't shot Potomac. Sorry, I'm not going to, not the way you just spoke to Kate. No, I'm not having that. Sorry. The eye test on who? Erling Haaland. Are we talking about him now? Anyway, listen, I'm going to go because people like Potomac have started to be a bit silly. I'm going to ask very nicely. Listen, please, it's been a really good show. We've had a lot of debates, a lot of topics. I can always change the way I do this if we want and not read out anyone's comments. But please, smash the subscribe button. And when you say I'm shooting down, I'm putting forward my opinion, Potomac. You're shooting down my opinion. I'm not crying about it, right? I'm not shooting down, right? World class. Dimitar Berbatov, world class. Absolutely superb. Absolutely superb. I am going to go. I think lots of people are starting to get a bit silly. Unsubscribing, it really is, for me, a little bit ungrateful. Thank you to everyone that was good in the show. Thanks, Patrick. I thought we had some good debates as well, but people just unsubscribe the moment they hear an opinion they don't like. Thank you very much. Thank you. I really do appreciate that. Yes. Berber was playing different. Potomac, I mean, how is anyone saying Vinicius Jr.? I can't. Potomac, look, wash your mouth out how you spoke to Kate. Disgusting. Listen, Vinny Jr. played 6 years since he was 17 in Real Madrid's team, winning everything in world football. Yeah, he's not world class. Yeah, shock. Son who's never played for a big club in his life, world class. All right, Potomac. All right. Big up. Smash the like button. Can we get 2 subscribers before we leave? 2 of you. Let me know when you've done it. Just 2. Come on. 2 of you. Exactly. Thank you. We disagree on some. We're allowed to. Much love. Take care, everyone. And be back 3 o'clock. Stell myself for Tottenham Fever. 3 p.m. Savva and Stell in the house together having a Tottenham chat. Join us and speak to you later. Thank you for all the well wishes for the interview. And we'll see you later. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.